Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diana Scherber, and on behalf of the A-Team, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to make this presentation to the Executive Board today. We want to help you understand what you need to do to ensure that your teams function effectively. We understand that this is no small task in any organization of any size. We are excited to help you build this foundation as you grow. We understand businesses and our clients are very complex and interdependent companies. Today, more than ever, your organization must operate with effective teams to compete and be successful. Like any other organization, you have a business culture. Everyone does. The culture drives the behavior of leadership and employees, which is why it's so critical. Our company will help you implement specific recommendations so that they become a part of your company's culture. And as with any organizational change, this could take years, and it is critical to monitor it until it becomes a part of what every employee does every single day. I wanted to level set with you on what the goals are for the presentation today. So our company plans to communicate a design that creates a culture that ensures that your teams function effectively. The goal of our presentation today is to communicate a design that we've created that creates a culture that ensures that your teams function effectively. There's a couple specific things that I wanted to mention. One of the goals is to help you create an environment of highly skilled collaborators who work effectively. The organization has to be intentional about creating what we call moments of learning. I know each of us brings our own idea and past and definition of what a team is, and I would challenge you during this presentation to have you reimagine teamwork in a whole new way. Because this is a new way of looking at teams, your leadership will have to frame the desired setting to the employees. Here's the desired setting. The work of the team should be a learning experience where experiments and mistakes are not only encouraged but rewarded. As team expert Amy Edmondson says, the brains and the voices of all employees are needed in the process in order to make the outcome be the best that it can be. We realize that some employees may have difficulty reframing the future. And what does that look like? The leaders will be taught how to help those employees find meaning again to the work that they do. As Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust and concentration camp survivor, says, employees must find meaningful purpose in their work. During the presentation, my colleagues and I will go through these four main areas. First, I'll talk a little bit about the differences between groups and teams. Then we will identify common barriers and challenges that teams face. We will define differences in the challenges and barriers from face-to-face meetings compared to virtual meetings. And lastly, we'll make recommendations for best practices for high-performing teams. We'd like to start the discussion around the differences between groups and teams. And I would challenge you to look at this image and think to yourself, is this a group or is this a team? Actually, it could be either one. It really just depends on the dynamics of how they approach their work and efforts as a collection of individuals. We often share the elevator analogy to compare a group to a team. So you have a group of individuals or a collection of individuals in an elevator. They're riding to the first floor, and that is a group. When the elevator gets stuck in between floors, that group typically will turn into a team. They start to discuss rescue and escape. They develop a plan, they communicate, they assign roles. We often use the elevator analogy to compare a group to a team. So there's a collection of individuals who are on an elevator. They're all headed to the first floor. That's a group. The elevator gets stuck in between floors. That group typically will turn into a team. They start to communicate, they assign roles, they talk about rescue and a plan to escape. So now I will review some of the characteristics of a group as compared to a team. Typically with a group, there is one leader. They have a very clear focus and stated goal. There's individual accountability. They discuss, decide, and delegate. And typically, their performance is measured by indirect influence, meaning maybe they have financial goals of the company that they've contributed to as a group. So these are typical characteristics of a group, but not a team. A team, on the other hand, is very different. Teams have a shared purpose and common commitment. They encourage and reward experimentation and failure. Team members share, trust, and make sacrifices for the team. Teams must have safe environments that are established by the leader. Teams collaborate internally and compete externally. Teams have individual and mutual accountability and often have shared leadership roles. Teams, on the other hand, are very different. They have a shared purpose and a common commitment. Teams encourage and reward experimentation and failure. Team members share trust and they make sacrifices for the team. Teams must have a safe environment that is established by the leader. Teams collaborate internally and compete externally. Teams have individual and mutual accountability and often have shared leadership roles. With that, I will turn the presentation over to my colleague, VT, who will discuss common barriers and challenges. Thank you.